Homeschooling Live. It's Lauren and Amanda here. And today we are going to share with you about our murder mystery dinner party that we just put on for our kids. It was a 1920s theme, speakeasy, and that was the time era we most recently just were studying in history with our kids, and so this was our history activity that it was a big deal that we did with our kids.
Yes, we put in lots of effort on this. So if you have if you have not ever participated in one, I'll just give a real quick synopsis of how it works. It's an actual game. Like, you purchase the game, everybody has characters. You dress like the character, act like the character, and then during the game there are rounds, and you have clue cards that tell you, say something to so-and-so, tell this, and you have to try to stay in character, and more information is given each round, and you actually have to find out who the murderer is. And so it's not like a party that you're able to just hang out and visit like normal, like you are actually in a game, maybe. Yeah. Is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah, I guess. So you have to stay in role, in character the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah. So. It was a really cool experience. This was my first time to be in one. This was your fourth, fifth.
Yes, I've hosted several.
Yes, so it was a really neat aspect. I think it was neat to have our kids involved. Yes. So I know that sometimes this can usually be an adult, thing and stuff. So it was, I think, a good experience for them to, learn how, there was some etiquette learned, with the dinner, because there was a dinner going on. They had to be a team effort to work together to make this work. So
they had to follow directions on their cards and read and stay engaged. That took some thinking. Yeah. When you say
it did, I think so. And I was surprisingly pleased with how well they did. I will say that.
Because I've done several, and I've only done it with adults, but we wanted to put on something for our kids. We like to take them on field trips, do events, do fun things, and the top half is at an age where they are very capable of doing these things, and obviously you include the bottom half of the kids because they are also learning the history. Yeah. So I thought it had some great benefits. Do you think that they learn? Do you think it was educational or just fun? What do you think?
I think a little bit of both. I think it gave them almost a real life kind of drop into this type of situation. We definitely had studied this. They knew about the mob and gangsters, because that was kind of the theme. It was more of based around two gangsters, mob bosses. Yeah, and it was a story, but it was also fun, which I think is good. I think that's what you want out of something like a field trip and things too. You want it to be enjoyable, but also they learn from it as well.
Yeah, because in our history we talked about, how organized crime came to be. Yes. And why people were let off, things
and
like
prohibition.
That. Prohibition is where the speakeasies came from.
Yes.
Which, why it's called a speakeasy? Do you know? Did you read it in our stuff?
No, I think you shared it. I don't remember. What was the...
Because when they went to the speakeasy, they had to speak easy to get into the secret club to be able to, drink
private club
alcohol and things like that. So how we did it is we split up the responsibilities. That was the best. I've hosted several, and I've done them by myself start to finish. I'll never do that again. I will always have a partner.
I can imagine doing it by myself. I've never done it by myself, but doing it with her, and just your role, what she did and what I did, trying to do both of those things would have been so much work, so much more work.
It was so good. So my role is I purchased the game, I signed the characters, I got all the clue cards ready, kind of organized all the people, and I read a lot on the flow of the game and planned little activities between the rounds, and bought all the prizes. So kind of hosting-ish the night and pulling it all together. So.
Yeah. And I planned the menu, and I cooked some of the food. We split some of that up. Some people brought desserts and things, and I decorated. I hosted as in my home. We used my home, and I decorated and kind of prepped in that sense. So.
Well, she did so good on the decorating. I was so impressed. I guess you went to your grandma's house.
Yes.
And she got so many 1920s props. It was so cool. And we're showing pictures and to show you guys all of it. Yeah. I don't know. It was really cool. So I would really recommend it. I'm trying to think if there's anything there's all kinds of themes that you could buy.
I was gonna say, didn't you say you did like a Western?
Yes,
one
I've
or
done
something?
a Western theme.
Yeah.
We've done a superhero theme, which obviously that would not ever go with your history. That was just kind of fun. I did a Disney theme. I did not like that one. It was too familiar. Like this 1920s one was fun because like it was not like a familiar story.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really fun. And like she was saying, our kids had to the benefits was just the party etiquette, the staying involved, the not being silly. We did have to get onto some of our bottom ones about being a little bit too silly, like during like serious times of like, you know, announcing winners and things like that. But they have to learn somehow. So
definitely.
it was okay. And we had the prizes we gave away a best costume prize, which that one was kind of hard on this one because all the girls looked the same.
Yes, we were all in like flapper attire,
Yes.
you know, to some extent. So
the boys varied a lot more. We had a baseball player, a pilot, mob bosses, a mime, a silent film star. So the boys' costumes were a little bit more varied.
Yeah.
And then we also gave away a prize for the best in character, and we did gift cards for all of these.
Yeah.
A 16-year-old girl won our best in character.
Yeah, she did a good job.
She stayed
really
in character the whole time. But
Yeah.
a lot of people did. I would say about over half of people stayed in character.
Yeah.
I'm not a good character person. Like, I cannot stay in character. My character was supposed to be like a wild dancer, and I couldn't do it. I should have given that to somebody else. I was there.
Yeah, it was kind of hard. Well, when you're hosting too
Yes.
as well. We were trying to go between like actually hosting the party and do things. So people would come up to me with some of their clues, and I was like, I haven't read my card yet. I know there's something I'm supposed to respond, so I'd have to go back to that person. But it's still very doable, though. I didn't feel like it was like to host and be like running it while you were doing being a character it wasn't that hard, but it was fun.
I just can't stay in character. One time I got to be a character that actually matched my personality. Like it was like very similar, so I was like, I can do that one.
Yeah.
And then our victim had to go during one of the rounds and come out all in caution tape, and it was one of the kids, which we didn't know who the victim was because the way you do it, you can not know who the murderer is, and you can not know who the victim is, even as the host. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't give a spoiler in case, because we'll link our game, and if you want to buy it, you know, you can go buy the same game. So I'm not going to tell you who the murderer was and who the victim was, but it was really fun.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else. What else would be helpful if somebody wanted to host one of these?
I would say plan and prep ahead. You bought the game like what, a month and a half before?
I think in January.
Yeah. So, and we got together, we planned our date, which did have to be adjusted a little bit. We ended up having to move it just a little bit out farther. So we were kind of out of that time period, but it's just what worked for your family, you know, and I tried to, you know, do the costumes we started prepping for way ahead.
That was
each
fun.
of our family's costumes. That was definitely the most fun part is planning your costumes. And then as far as the week of, I did as the decorator and menu planner and stuff, I tried to take and do a little bit each day. We did it on a Thursday evening. So like Monday, you know, I finalized the decor. Tuesday, I finalized getting the food. And Wednesday, I started decorating. So that was plan ahead. Big. It was made it when it come down to the end, like you're not frantically running around trying to finish things.
No.
So
even though that is always ends up what happens.
Oh yeah, there's always last minute. Well, it was things like I was trying to save all the like punches and things like that for the last minute. So you're like, oh, we got to do all this quickly. But
anyways, it was really fun, and I would suggest if you have never done one, if you have a group of homeschool friends, to have it match your history, to just go ahead and do it, and it was completely worth it.
Yeah, I think our families had a great time together. It was a lot of fun.
So, but I was saying, let's see if your answer is the same. We have not talked about this. How often would you do a mystery dinner party?
I would say it would have to be a few years apart at least. You know, maybe, I don't know, I'd say like 2 or 3 years before I'd want to do another one.
That's exactly what I said.
Really?
I said 3 years.
Yeah.
And so if we wait another 3 years, I think our oldest ones will be almost out, right? Olivia will be on her way out.
Yes,
and then our youngest ones will be able to participate. But you wouldn't want to do this, I would not think, every year, because the games are very similar, and you don't want it to get old. You want it to still be fresh and fun and exciting. So I think once every 3 years, but just putting in the effort.
Yeah.
And even as adults, if you didn't want to do this as a homeschool thing, I think it would be a good Halloween party.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't really, we're not like big Halloween people,
Yeah.
but it's still fun to dress up. So like you could host something like this around that time of year when costume stuff is more readily, you know, available to buy.
Yeah.
And so have an adult themed costume party around that time. So
it was a big hit and a great field trip, you
Yes.
know, in place of like it was just something a little bit different. So
I don't think our kids will ever forget the 1920s.
oh no, they're still, I mean, we're several days out and it's still like they're calling each other their characters and different things, so I'm sure it'll wear off eventually, but it was a big hit with them.
So if you haven't hosted one, we suggest it, and if you have any questions, just let us know. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, so we want you to, you know the drill, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, thank you so much for watching.
Bye guys.